Four space tourists safely ended their trailblazing trip to orbit Saturday with a splashdown in the Atlantic off the Florida coast. Their SpaceX capsule parachuted into the ocean just before sunset, not far from where their chartered flight began 3 days earlier. The all-amateur crew was the first to circle the world without a professional astronaut. The billionaire who paid undisclosed millions for the trip and his 3 guests wanted to show that ordinary people could blast into orbit by themselves, and SpaceX founder Elon Musk took them on as the company's first rocket-riding tourists. "Your mission has shown the world that space is for all of us," SpaceX Mission Control radioed. "It was a heck of a ride for us, just getting started," replied trip sponsor Jared Isaacman, referring to more private flights on the horizon. SpaceX's fully automated Dragon capsule reached an unusually high altitude of 363 miles after Wednesday night's liftoff. Surpassing the International Space Station by 100 miles, the passengers savored views of Earth through a big bubble-shaped window added to the top of the capsule. The 4 streaked back through the atmosphere early Saturday evening, the first space travelers to end their flight in the Atlantic since Apollo 9 in 1969. SpaceX's 2 previous crew splashdowns, carrying astronauts for NASA, were in the Gulf of Mexico. Within a few minutes, a pair of SpaceX boats pulled up alongside the bobbing capsule. It was hoisted on the recovery ship where the 4 were due to have medical checks before going to Kennedy Space Center by helicopter for a reunion with their families.
This time, NASA was little more than an encouraging bystander, its only tie being the Kennedy launch pad once used for the Apollo moonshots and shuttle crews, but now leased by SpaceX. Isaacman, 38, an entrepreneur and accomplished pilot, aimed to raise $200 million for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Donating $100 million himself, he held a lottery for one of the 4 seats. He also held a competition for clients of his Allentown, Pennsylvania payment processing business, Shift4 Payments. Joining him on the flight were Haley Arsenault, 29, a St. Jude physician assistant who was treated at the Memphis, Tennessee hospital nearly 2 decades ago for bone cancer, and contest winners Chris Zembrowski, 42, a data engineer in Everett, Washington, and Sion Proctor, 51, a community college educator, scientist, and artist from Tempe, Arizona. Strangers until March, they spent 6 months training and preparing for potential emergencies during the flight, dubbed Inspiration4. Most everything appeared to go well, leaving them time to chat with St. Jude patients, conduct medical tests on themselves, ring the closing bell for the New York Stock Exchange, and do some drawing and ukulele playing. Arsenault, the youngest American in space and the first with a prosthesis, assured her patients, "I was a little girl going through cancer treatment just like a lot of you, and if I can do this, you can do this." They also took calls from Tom Cruise, interested in his own SpaceX flight to the space station for filming, and the rock band U2's Bono. Even their space menu wasn't typical, cold pizza and sandwiches, but also pasta bolognese and Mediterranean lamb. Before beginning descent, Zembrowski was so calm that he was seen in the capsule watching the 1987 Mel Brooks film Spaceballs on his tablet. Nearly 600 people have reached space, a scorecard that began 60 years ago and is expected to soon skyrocket as space tourism heats up. Benji Reed, a SpaceX director, anticipates as many as 6 private flights a year, sandwiched between astronaut launches for NASA. 4 SpaceX flights are already booked to carry paying customers to the space station, accompanied by former NASA astronauts. The first is targeted for early next year, with 3 businessmen paying $55 million apiece. Russia also plans to take up an actor and film director for filming next month and a Japanese tycoon in December. Customers interested in quick space trips are turning to Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. The 2 rode their own rockets to the fringes of space in July to spur ticket sales. Their flights lasted 10 to 15 minutes.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.